Hello everybody, RegiTime here, and we're just about at the halfway point of the month, so it's not the reason for making a video today, but it's a good time to give a small update on how things are going. First of all, before I do that, I've been getting some really good feedback on the video, some good comments. Someone said the swearing doesn't do me any favours. I haven't got the accent for swearing. I'm not sure you need an accent for swearing. Yeah, we all think that Ray Winston sounds better swearing than fucking, I don't know, Mavis Riley or whatever. But yeah, not sure about that. But yeah, if you don't like swearing, you really are on the wrong channel, because I do have quite the potty mouth. It's not something I do deliberately. It's all very natural. Someone didn't like it. Not much you can do about it. Not much I'm going to do about it, to be honest. But yeah, please keep hitting the thumbs up, the shares, the comments. I love it. It's nice to see, and please keep them coming. So yeah, we're about halfway through the month now. I've played up to now like 36 hours, which is just about on target. Slightly off, but I intend to redress the balance this week, and we're way ahead of the financial target. I've made around £450 in those 30 odd hours. My hourly rate must have been more than 30 hours actually, because my hourly rate is £10 something an hour. But my spreadsheet's a bit wonky. There's something wrong with it. It doesn't record quite everything. I'm not going to put a screenshot of it up because it's such a small little thing. But anyways, yeah, basically I made like 400 odd quid, and we played maybe close to like between 35 and 40 hours. I can't remember from memory, but it's good anyway. It's all going really good. I'm really pleased with it. Last week was a slow week volume wise. We talked about I didn't play Monday or Tuesday at all, and I didn't play much Wednesday. England had the World Cup semi and what have you. Yeah, it was just a bad week volume wise. I didn't do too much in terms of volume, but that happens. Life gets in the way sometimes, yes. So that's how it is. But overall, a halfway point. If you'd offered me this on the 1st of July, I'd have absolutely snapped your hand off. We're doing slightly better than we expected financially, and about on par in terms of hours played. So yeah, that's fantastic, and I don't see many things stopping me playing between now and the end of the month. So we should make the 80-hour target pretty easily, and we should make the £600 target incredibly easily. I'm expecting to beat that now and get somewhere near 700 or 800 maybe. But we'll see. You know, who knows? It might be a downswing or a break-even stretch around the corner. So yeah, yesterday I haven't been making too many videos, sorry, because everything's just been so much plain sailing. I don't actually recall being in like too many like tough interesting spots. It's just been a lot of me getting really good tables and just having relatively easy spots stacking fish. I just haven't been putting too many spots. I haven't lost too many big pots. We had a bit of a rough day yesterday. I think maybe I had a losing day, one of my first losing days of the month. Not much, 20 quid or something. And I had a session yesterday that I didn't record because I was trying 6 tabling, and it would have been a mess. And I stacked off in 2 spots, again, once against Baller, who's a good player, once against Ouija, who's an interesting player, and both of them I could have done better with, you know. So yeah, maybe the 6 table thing's not going to work, but the reason I did it is because there was only like maybe 1 or 2 good tables worth playing, and I'm getting a bit bored, so I just added some 10 and L tables to the mix, which were fucking incredibly soft, might I add. And then we ended up, we played a session last night where I did end up getting stacked 2 or maybe 3 times, but we still only lost £10 due to the quality of like the 10 and L tables, and I had a really good 13 L table too where we made a couple of buy-ins. So yeah, anyway, all that's by the by. Basically, the nuts and bolts of it is it's been a really good week, a really good fortnight, and long may it continue. So onto this hand here, the first hand we're going to look at. We're only going to run this video for 30 minutes, so we'll just get through as many hands as we can in that time, but we're not going to rush any of them. So we're in here with the Ace-8 suited at a 20 and L table. It's not the best of tables. I guess I was about to leave. You got like 2 orange tag players, which means that the bad regulars, there's not much money in them. I think they'll probably, well, no doubt I'm going to consider myself better than both of them, although Tassie did move to a red tag at the end of the day. I think I'm better than both of them. This card for life, I'm not sure. I think is some kind of regular. So I'm still at this table, but I wouldn't have been here much longer, I wouldn't have imagined. So we open the Ace-8 in the cutoff, we get a caller, and we flop trips, and we've already seen what we checked. I've been like, lately, well, for a long time now, I've been betting these spots, but I mean, it's a bit like when you flop top set in terms of like what can people have, like flopping top set on the dry board. It's very similar to that in terms of like what can people have. Yeah, if he has a king, he might just call 3 streets. But I mean, it's just so unlikely that he's got anything that's got any equity against us whatsoever. So I went a bit old school here and went with the old check, let him catch up, let him bluff sort of thing. And I've been betting these spots a ton lately. Dry board, you know, good from a range, king high, I should be c-betting. All those things that we're taught these days. And I think, yep, that's fine. It's against a regular. I think it certainly should be a bet. But I think against a green tag player, it's okay to go a bit old school. So we checked. And he bets. And of course, we should just call at this point and see what happens on turns. Do call. We get a pretty safe turn. We check again. He pots it again. And this is where I think it starts to get interesting. Because at this point, it's like, well, if he has an 8, we're going to get it all anyway in the river. You know, because by now we're going to have like when we call here, the river's going to be like about a pot-sized bet left because he started the hand short stacked. Or a little bit short anyway. So if he's got an 8, we're going to get it all anyway. If he's got a king, if we raise here, he might fold. If he's got a draw, I guess we can like get it in now. But what draws can you really have? Like flush draws the only one. Maybe Jack 10 has just improved to a draw. So I think we just continue with the slow play. And there's no reason to be getting scared just yet. And we do tank it down, and then, you know, the backdoor flush has got there, the Jack Queen's got there. So I guess it's not the best river for us. We'd rather see a nice clean deuce of clubs or whatever. But again, there's no point betting here. I think our hand's gone from like super primo bluff catcher, let him keep barreling to. Yeah, you might just check back here with a king. You got to like think of what his range is going to be like. He's probably checking back a king at this point, unless he's like psychotic. You got a hand like King Jack. Maybe he bets King 10. Maybe, but he's going to be checking back a lot of King X. So I think when he bets this river, or if he bets this river, he's going to be like 8x, some flushes, some straights, and like all the air that he's just been blasting off with, like ace 5, ace queen, who knows what, you know, just he might just have some like random blast offs here that you just need to let him keep going with. You know, it's hard to say what they are, but because they're random, but people turn up with them sometimes. So I think we just need to continue checking. And it's interesting that he's like downsized from the turn. He potted the turn. Now he's like half potting the river. But when we have like a super easy call, and you can consider jamming maybe, but it's like what worse hand to call. Maybe he's committed himself with a king, you know. But that's about it. So I called very quickly, and you could argue that we've let him get there. That moved on too quickly. I've been playing the hands a little bit faster to hopefully get through more. But anyway, the guy had Jack Queen of Hearts. I think it was Jack Queen of Hearts anyway, for a flush, straight flush, whatever it was. And you could argue with it that we let him get there, but I think that's just plain results. Would he have bluffed the river if the river had come like the offsuit deuce? Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. But I think I let my line in that hand. It didn't work out, but just because a hand didn't work out, it doesn't always mean that the line was wrong. And I think we took a good line there. We took a line that lots of players probably would have taken. But in the modern game where we're supposed to be like betting our strong hands on boards like this, like dry boards, because we'd be c-betting all our air here, so we should c-bet all our rates. I get that. Against regulars, it's a line I probably would take. I probably wouldn't have played it the same. But I think it's fine now and again to like break away from what's the current conventional rules, and we did it here. We didn't win, but overall I'm not unhappy with the hand. So this time we're on table 3 in a hand against Tassie, who at the time I still wasn't sure if they were good or not. I don't play heads up against anyone I think is even close to good, because I just don't think it's worth it. I'm all about the game selection and playing like players who have like real big edges against. Once sure about Tassie, there's only one way to find out do you have a big edge or not, and that's to play them. So I thought I'd play a few hands against him, and if I didn't like the spot I'd just quit, and if I liked it I'd continue, him or her. Anyways, we've opened 6-5 suited on the button. We've got a call from Tassie. And let's see how this one plays out. Make a ready standard C-bet. Tassie raises to £2.90. And if this was in like a ring game with like 6 players, I'd be more inclined to be a bit cautious here. But it's heads up and people's ranges are just like wider and they're more aggressive with them. So I mean, if this was like a regular ring game and I'd open the cut off and Tassie called from the big blind, I'd be more inclined to put some much stronger hands in his range. But people just, they bluff more heads up. They play top pair more aggressively. They play second pair more aggressively. Stuff that you wouldn't see people check raising in ring games start to become check raises heads up. And I've no idea how Tassie plays his ranges. But I guess what I'm saying is that we don't necessarily have a bunch of implied odds here, because he might just have 7x. He might just have king queen with like with a spade or something like that. So we don't have like a ton of implied odds going on here. But who knows? You know, I mean, if we hit a spade, he might continue bluffing. We can't fold yet. We've got like a flush draw. We've got some backdoor straight draw stuff ourselves, and we're getting like over 2-1 on a call. So yeah, we're not getting the correct direct odds, but you'd hope if we did make a flush, we could make some extra money somewhere. And who knows, maybe he slows down on the turn or the river and we get to bluff. So I think it's way too early to think about folding. The check raise is a move I usually give immense respect to, but heads up less so. So we do call. We turn the gut shot to go with our flush draw. Tassie thinks for a good while, and he likes to go with another bet. And I think we can go 2 ways in this spot. I think folding's out of the question now. I picked up a gut shot as well. And I've jammed in this spot a couple of times recently and been plucked off by like top hair and stuff, versus like Duesenberg and versus a few regulars anyway. Basically, I've been like jamming draws on turns and just getting like looked up. People just don't seem to fold when they double barrel pretty big. So I was thinking, like, do we jam here and like put maximum pressure on 7x, some pressure on 10x, although I guess he's not folding 10x if he takes this line very often. Sometimes get him to like fold some better draws, maybe. You know, who knows? Or just some like random bluffs that have like good equity. If he's got like a jack queen, a king queen, ace highs, things like that, and just get him off his equity share. So it's like jam or call, and because I've had my fingers burned lately with the turn jam, maybe it was a bit gun shy. Maybe jam's best here. You know, maybe it's just best to jam right now. You know, and make sure we like put maximum pressure on his like the stuff that isn't stacking off that's better than us. I mean, whatever his hand is, it's better than ours, right? It has to be. Unless he's got 4-5, we have like the nut nothing. Sorry, we've got the worst possible hand almost, not the nut nothing. We've got almost the worst possible hand we can have here in terms of like showdown value. So maybe just jamming is best. But because I've had my fingers burnt lately by jamming turns with draws, maybe I was a bit gun shy. I don't know. I think I probably should jam. In hindsight now, I wish I'd jammed. I think jam's the play. I think it's a much better play. I mean, if I'd called with sets on flops, I probably would be some jamming them at least some of the time. If I had top 2 pair, like 10-7 or something, I would certainly be jamming them at least some of the time. So I think we should be jamming our like weakest flush draws here and what have you. So I don't like it because we did just end up calling and remember the hand. But I think we should just have jammed right here. We did call, we bricked. The king come, which shouldn't really hit either of us. Tassie tanks for a long time and checks. I think we have like an easy jam now. We don't represent anything, that's a problem, you know. I wouldn't be jamming the 10 for value now. We only really represent like two pairs like king 7, king 10, and slow played sets here. I don't like it. Having looked back at this hand now, I think jam turn is absolutely the line, because we don't rep fuck all when we jam this river here. We represent nothing. We represent such a narrow value range, and we can have like a ton of fucking misdraws. 8, 9, 6, 9, spades. Like jack 8, jack 9, with fucking tons of bluffs in our range here, potentially. And not much value. But we've got 6 high. So I did jam. But I think jamming turns way better in hindsight. And luckily we did get the fold. So I guess Tassie just had a bluff as well. Or maybe, well, I don't know what Tassie had, to be honest with you. But yeah, I don't like that. I think because I've been burned a couple of times recently jamming flush draws on turns versus people representing strength, maybe that was played into my decision here, but it shouldn't do. The turn should be a jam. I don't really like how I played that hand. We got away with it, we won the pot, but I think like once we pick up the extra equity on the turn, I think we should probably just fucking jam it in his face. I think it's a more credible line, it's a more natural line than call and jam river on what is really a brick, the king. Neither of us should have too much king x in our range except king 7, king 10 really, or maybe like king queen suited, king jack suited, not ace king suited, because I probably just jammed that in his eye at some point before now. So yeah, not sure my line makes a whole bunch of sense in terms of like what value I can have, but we got away with it and we live and learn. So we're back on table 1 here. We've got JSMO. I didn't know much about him, to be honest, but I knew he was a fish. He hadn't been reloading. He'd been tagged before as a fish. And Zimbo. So we had 2 fish, cut off open, button call. It's 30 an hour. We have like pocket jacks. It's the most trivial squeeze in the history of time. It's just a matter of sizing here. And it's something I've been doing lately that hasn't been hurting me in the fucking slightest. He's going like pretty big with my 3-bets and squeezes. As a rule, I've been looking at the pot and I've been like, right, let's just go double the pot for my sizing. If I'm in position, I'll maybe go double the pot, then knock it down just a touch. If I'm out of the position, I'll go double the pot and maybe knock it up a touch, depending on my opponent's stack size. But I've been trying to like find more consistency with my sizing pre-flop, and that's been a good rule of thumb that I've been using. So I would expect here I'd met my squeeze probably, I'd say, getting on for £4.80, £5, something like that. Let's see. And people might say if you make it that big, you're not going to get called as well. Let's have a look. We do make it 480, and we get 1. Is Zimbo coming along? We get 1 caller, and then we get a pretty flop. I mean, it's likely we still have the best hand, but we can't really think about betting for value. I guess a regular here on this dry board, this is up against like G Baller or Tassie or whatever. I think this would be a bog standard like quarter pot C bet, like anything like between say £2.50 to £3. It'd be completely trivial. You just C bet it for like quarter pot, third pot, and crack on. But we're not up against a regular. We could get value, I guess, from like some pocket 8s, pocket 7s and stuff that just gets stubborn. But I don't mind just checking here and seeing what happens. I mean, I don't like it, but these players are going to make way more mistakes in these spots than these guys are. These guys, if they see a check, they might just start betting with pocket 8s, pocket 7s, pocket 4s, 10-9. They're just going to have like the betting ranges aren't just going to be a king. And they're going to like do some. Fish are going to make a lot more mistakes here, more with I think their range when checked to than they are with the calling ranges. We bet here we might get 1 call from like pocket 8 or something, but who knows. But I think in general, in spots like this, I prefer check calling down against these guys. Yeah, he's going to have king queen, king 10 suited, ace king, all those things. But I think these guys when they've got like a nothing hand here, when they've got like an 8-7 suited or whatever, they just try and win the pot. They're just like, fuck it, bang, let's start betting. So you get a lot of value from stuff that would just fold to your quarter pot C bet and stuff. So I much prefer just checking in these spots against unknown fish He bets half pot. I mean, what are we going to do? We just call. He checks back the turn, which now I'm pretty sure he jacks it. Once he doesn't bet the turn, I think they carry on betting kings on the turn most of the time, dude. Like, well, most players would bet a king on the turn. Then they face 2 checks. So I'm very confident right now that my jack's well, not very confident. I'm pretty confident that my jack's good. The 10 is like a really nice safe river. It shouldn't really improve him that much. I mean, if you had king 10, he's probably betting the turn. Does he have 6-10? Unlikely. If he does, then hallelujah, he gets paid, I guess. So the 10 is like a really clean river. What I didn't want to see there was like a queen or an ace, of course. But again, it's like, do we get value from much? If we bet here, what's he going to do with pocket 7s? What's he going to do with, I don't know, 8-9? He's going to fold most of them. So again, I think our hand's just a check and probably bluff catch. He just bet about half pot, we call, and he did. He just had like a jack 9, and if we bet at any point in that hand, we probably make him fold. So yeah, I really like the line we've taken there. Again, it's just a difference between, and I guess it's a point we should touch on really, in like taking different lines versus fish versus regulars. I think some of the biggest mistakes I see some regulars making on Sky is that they play the same way against everybody. You know, they've got the, like, this is what I do in these situations with these hands because they've been learning the GTO or whatever. You know, they've been working on the game. They've been trying to, like, maybe they've been working with solvers. Who knows? But they're doing that same things. I see a lot of them doing more modern things now with like much smaller bet sizes, like quarter pot bet sizes, etc. So it's clear these guys are like working on the game. But I think the mistakes some of them are making, they're not adjusting for their opponents. They're just like, this is what I'm going to do because this makes me unexploitable or what have you. And I get it, but I think it's not the best strategy against some weaker players who are going to play like quite badly in an exploitative way. Maybe I'm not sure I've worded that properly, but if you're playing on a tough site and you're learning GTO, you crack on, because you're going to be playing mostly against regulars who play a similar sort of style. So you crack on, you find your consistencies, you find your ways that work for you, and you keep delivering it. If you're playing on really soft sites and like you've got, I don't know, pocket aces on a pretty dynamic board in a 3-bet pot against the fish or a 4-bet pot against the fish, I think if you're going to continue there with like quarter pot c-bets and stuff, I think you are making a mistake in those points. And I think lots of players understand it, but some people maybe don't. I guess most people watching my channel aren't really doing much work with solvers, and I don't work with solvers, for the record. Not doing much work with solvers. They're probably not really, they're aware of GTO as a concept, but they're not studying it. But yeah, if you do eventually end up going down that route of doing that kind of work, just be aware that you need to be still, like, that's nice, it's your baseline. I do those sorts of things against regulars, but against regulars you might want to use one style, like go more with like a kind of like try to be an exploitable style, and then against fish, you know, switch back into your right, this is really exploitable, but I think it gives me a bigger edge long term against this player. So just bear that in mind. So here we are on table 1. It's another 30NL table. We've opened pocket 7s under the gun. We've had 2 callers so far. Not sure if Zimbo comes along as well or not. Zimbo does come along. Oh wow, would you look at that? We just flopped the second nuts. So I guess we're going to win this one, guys. Let's just see what happens though. See which line I take. I just said, guys, what a dick. I never use that word apart from on videos and Twitch. Never use it in real life. Just use it on this shit. Anyways, forget that. We've checked because why wouldn't we? You need to give people a chance to bet worse hands, to bluff, to catch up a little bit. You know, if someone's in here with like 9, 10, Jack, Queen, Ace, 5, give all those hands a chance to catch a pair on the turn, that type of thing. So, Fish Dog stabs £2 here. We're just going to call, I guess. Now I remember the hand. Zimbo min raises, which means Zimbo's probably got a 3. So it's just how to proceed against Zimbo at this point. If he's got a 3, should we just not just pile it in now and whatever, just let's go? I mean, basically free roll the fuck out of him. He's got like a quads draw and that's it. Or do we call and see if we can somehow like get fish dog in? 2, and I think just calling. If he's got a 3, we're getting all the money anyway. So I think we play this hand in a way that just keeps fish dog in as best we can, and just if he has got any fucking like random nonsense going on, which I think is incredibly unlikely here. I just think he's gonna have a 3 most of the time he's in the big blind. He can have tons of 3x, 4, 3, 5, 3, 3 deuce suited, ace 3. He can have lots of 3x in his range, when in his check min raise range. He's going to be pretty much 3x, I would say. Not bluffs very often at all. Maybe he's just got a hand like pocket 9 sometimes and he's just completely butchering it, who knows. But there's no reason to do anything but call here, try and rope fish dog along and what have you, because we're getting all the money against his 3 anyway. It doesn't really matter what we do here. I'm not even sure why we're reviewing it, to be honest with you, because there's not much to be learned from it apart from can we get fish dug in. So we're going to whip through this one now, because we all know he's got a 3. So fish dog does call. Timbo bets 9. We should just call again, and hopefully fish dog doesn't get the message that he's crushed with whatever it is he's got. We're doing a bit of fake tanking, etc. He snap folds, and then if it's a queen, as far as I'm concerned, he's still got the nuts. He goes all in. He's got an ace 3. Sorry guys for reviewing that hand. It was just a fucking cooler, wasn't it? Yeah, not really much reason to put that in, but yeah, go us. We managed to cooler a fish and win a £63 pot. Woohoo! Right, let's do one more, because that's a fucking rubbish hand to finish on. So here we are, back on table 1 for the last hand. We have the ace 10 suited. This guy has 4x'd it, and he was doing this a lot of 4xing. 4x from the button. We could, let's have a look at his stack size. Let's do a deep here. We should 3-bet here for sure. I don't know if I do or not, but we should. We want to be knocking the blinds out if we can. Although we have like a nice suited ace on the button, so we don't mind very much if fish dog comes along. At the same time, I think we should definitely be 3-betting here. His range, I can't remember if he was raising a lot. When he was raising, he was 4xing. He was mixing raising and limping in there. So I'm going to guess he's got one of, in his own mind, one of his stronger hands. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's got ace 10 beat. And even if he does have ace 10 beat, you know, we're going to have position, playable hand, hopefully a big skill advantage. So, you know, even if he does have it beat here, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win the pot. Yeah, so I think we should definitely 3-bet here. And I think we should 3-bet up to around 330, something like that. Using my double a pot rule, maybe just £3 even, just bumping up 4 blinds to 6, mostly just to knock these guys out more than anything else. I did it like just a call, which again I'm on board with. I think 3-betting or calling's fine there. We flop the nuts, and this might be another interesting hand. I apologise if it is quite dull. We flop the nuts against the fish. We have that the redraw to the fucking super monkey cocoa nuts, whatever it is. Whatever it was Kasuf was saying. And again, just happy days. He checks. We need to bet here, but just like really. Oh, Reggie! We have to bet something there, Reggie. Even if it's like just like a 120 or something like that. I mean, if he doesn't have anything, he's fucking off anyway most of the time. I don't like that. We should definitely bet that flop. Anyway, we didn't. And we got, look at the fucking if I watch one of the people who come to me for help and they didn't bet this flop when they are fucking 200 big blinds deep, I'd be really like making the point very forceful. Look, you've got a lot of fucking big, you've got the nuts, you're super deep, fucking build a pot. And I haven't done that, and yeah, it's nice to get cute from time to time, let players catch up, etc. We've done it a bit today. There's a common theme around these videos today. It's been slow playing. We slow played the ace 8 into oblivion at the start of the hand, didn't we? Which is fine. I've no objection to that line whatsoever. But yeah, I guess I've been mixing quite a few slow plays in late. We slow played the 7s and we got a good result, and now we're slow playing here. Anyway, our opponent now bets really small. Raise it up, Reggie. Now we have to raise this up. The pot's just, whatever. I mean, if he's got a queen or he's got a king, he's probably not going to fold to a raise. The pot's really tiny at this point. We're never going to get all the money in now. That's gone. That dream's long gone. It's hard to get all the money in 200 big blinds deep off a single raise anyway. But we're not going to win a big pot now. We're going to be looking to try and win a medium-sized pot, I guess. I'd like to see myself raise here to around £4. Anything like 320 to £4, and then like maybe bet 6 on the river or something like that. If he like calls and checks to us again. So let's see what size we make it. Bigger, bigger. Oh, you fucking idiot! Oh, cunt. Sorry for the person who don't like swearing. I fucking hell, I'm making a mess of this. I'm just getting too fucking cute here, aren't I? Way, way, way too cute. This is fucking appalling. This is like one of the worst played hands that we've reviewed. It's diabolical. It's just too fucking cute. I mean, by now, there should be £8, £9, £10 in this pot, and there's going to be, if he calls this, £7.50. This pot's like £3 at least lighter than it should be. If he doesn't have anything, tough fuck for me. He doesn't have anything. He just folds and we don't win anything with the nuts. Yeah, Reggie, you're a dick. Board pairs river. He leads out for full pot, and yeah, I think he's just a call now. He's gone from checking flop, betting 3 blinds on the turn to like potting the river. It's hard for him to have full houses. He doesn't have pocket kings very often because he bets them. He don't have pocket jacks. Jack queen can definitely play this way, I guess. King queen, and maybe some like flushes, well that doesn't make sense. So it's just a call here. I think if we raise, yeah, if he's got ace queen, if he's got queen 10, we maybe get value from some of his queen x, but we butchered the hand. We need to butcher it more by raising, I don't think. I'm not happy with this hand at all. We call and we let him get there. I mean, don't get me wrong, had we bet the flop, he would not have folded. Had we then like raised bigger on the turn, he would not have. So I would like betting and raising more like I wanted to would not have prevented losing this pot. That's not what we're saying here. I would have lost a bigger pot had I played it better. And so you can like you know, if you want to play results, you can say, well, your shit line saved your money. But I mean, is that really the way we want to be thinking about poker? Oh, you played shit there, but you saved money because you were shit. Is it fuck? You know, I butchered this hand and I should have lost more. If I played this hand well, I should have lost more money. I didn't play it well. Don't check back flops. Just bet something. Don't raise turn like fucking whatever it is, 5 blinds more. Make it bigger, and then river's just, it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, the flop, that pot, when we got to the river, that pot should have been like up at £10 or £11. Instead it was up at 7, so we did save money, but that's completely fucking irrelevant. It's possibly one of the worst played hands we've done on these reviews so far. And yeah, I guess next time I'm in a session with some of you guys and I'm telling you to start building pots, then don't be afraid to remind me of this one where I fucking absolutely comprehensively failed to build a pot and let my opponent get there. Then yeah, we got lucky here. We did lose the minimum because at no point was he folding. But yeah, that's not a reason to pat ourselves in the back. We fucking butchered it, and there was no justice. There was no justice for them whatever the hell this player's called here. For Gizmo, there's no. He should have won a much bigger pot. Maybe bet his own fucking hand. You know, he wants to win a really big pot. Who knows? But yeah, we played that hand really, really badly. I don't think we played the ace-8 badly. I think like the other hands we played well this video. The 6-5 wasn't ideal, but again, as we talked about before, we're not just here looking at the hands that are played well, give myself a pat on the back. It's important that I review these hands and see some things that I'm making mistakes on, like the 6-5. It's at the time I didn't really recognise it. Now I'm thinking that was definitely a turn jam. So next time in that situation, I need to be reminding myself that just because it hasn't worked a couple of times, we shouldn't deviate from the line that makes more sense or the best line. And here, you know, Slow playing's fine against fish, don't get me wrong. I like to slow play sometimes, but not when you're in position, not when you flop the nuts. And yeah, I just need to remind myself to. I mean, this situation might not come up again for a while, but it's important that even when I'm having like fantastic results like I've been having, it's clear I'm still not playing as well as I could do in some spots, and it's just a nice reminder to remind yourself to focus and don't get sloppy and don't get complacent, which I think we definitely did with this hand here. Kind of got a bit cocky, a bit complacent, and yeah, it's something I'm going to start our new sessions very soon after this, and hopefully I'm going to start it with like a really good positive attitude with a renewed focus. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed the videos. I know I'm still enjoying making them. Take care everybody, and bye bye for now. Have a great week.